Steve Sarkisian, the Washington head coach. What music do you listen to get fired up?
I listen to everything, quite honestly, Dan. I don't try to pigeonhole myself too much. I've been on a Hawaiian reggae kick here for a little while, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Last concert you went to?
An artist by the name of Jay Boog. He's a Hawaiian reggae guy.
No kidding. You're all in on this.
Yeah, I do. I like it. But I've been to everything. I've been to the Killers numerous times. I've been to Pearl Jam. I go see it all.
I was wondering about this when you were at BYU with that offense with Lavelle Edwards and how offenses have evolved. What you guys were doing at BYU back then, how ahead of the curve was BYU football offensively?
It was interesting. You say that because there are guys that are still really sheer disciples of that system. You look at Mike Leach, you look at Sonny Dykes, you even go to Texas A&M's offense to some degree. Some of the principles are still there that we were using in the mid '90s, and that went all the way back into the early '80s with McMahon and Young. So when you think about it in that aspect of it, that offense would have such an impact even on the game today in 2013 is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know where we're headed. And you as a coach, what kind of offense do you need to run to attract these kids who want to play in that style? What came first here?
Well, I think the biggest thing with kids is, first and foremost, they want to win. It's great, the gaudy numbers and all that stuff are fantastic, but ultimately they want to win. They're competitive kids, and they want to win. But they like to win in an exciting fashion. I think when you're throwing the ball or you're going up tempo and you're making big plays and everybody's getting opportunities because more guys have to play because you're running more plays, I think that all of that is exciting to them about the opportunity to come in and play somewhere.
When you look at the Oregon offense, can you replicate that in practice?
Well, we try to go pretty fast ourselves, and so, fortunately for us, I think our defense gets exposed to the tempo and speed at which Oregon operates. It's hard to replicate Marcus Mariota and the speed that he possesses when he pulls that down and decides to run. But I think from a formational standpoint, from a scheme standpoint, we can do a fairly good job of replicating their stuff.
He's Steve Sarkisian, Washington head coach. They've got Oregon coming up this weekend. When we talk about these offenses, and it's something that's been there for quite some time, and of course it came up in the Stanford game of faking injuries, I'm curious if you could do something, if the official feels like somebody is faking an injury to slow down a team, have them sit out for maybe more than just one play. Can we make it more of a penalty, punishment, than just say, all right, we did our job, we slowed him down, and I'm back in the next play?
Right, and that's, again, that's a fine line in there and a hard thing to do, but obviously, when guys go down, I would like to think if the guy's down on the field that long, that it would take the doctors a minimum amount of time to check him out to put him back on the field. So, I don't know, and that's not my job to try to figure that out. My job is to try to put our football team in the best position to be successful. And, that's what we try to do day in and day out.
But there's that moment after the game. We saw it, Steve Spurrier,
Sure.
Where he talks about Jadeveon Clown. I mean, you speak in the moment. You were speaking in the moment. You lost. You guys were the better team, I thought, on Saturday against Stanford. Tough loss. And then you accuse them of faking injuries. If that was a half hour, an hour later, would you have said the same thing?
I don't know. Like you say, you get in the moment, and it's an emotional time, and you feel for your kids because you feel like they had an opportunity to win the ball game, and it didn't happen for us. I know how I feel today. We saw what we saw, and I've moved on from it. I'm not one to sit and dwell on it. I've got to move forward. We're facing the number 2 team in the country here in 2 days, so I got to get ready for that one.
Bad call late in the game. How many times you replayed that?
Enough times to know that I disagree with the call, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I didn't get into this profession to be an official or a replay official. I got in this profession to coach young men and to get them better every day on the football field and in the classroom and in their lives, and I think we're doing that. So I can't continue to, again, dwell on the what-ifs. They made the call. The call is what it was, and we've got to move forward.
What was your reaction when Lane Kiffin got fired?
I felt for Lane. I felt for his family, his kids, because so many times with football coaches, that we become these figureheads, and that's all people see us as. Well, at the end of the day, that Monday morning after he got fired, his kids had to wake up in the morning and go to school, and his wife had to go to that school and drop him off, and we live real lives, and there's a lot of emotion involved in this stuff.
How do you react when you hear your name or people tell you, are you interested in USC, or are you a candidate? Would you want to be considered for that?
I don't, and I say this all the time, I've never commented on hypothetical scenarios. If we did that, I'd spend all day talking about every other job around the country. So USC is a good place. Don't get me wrong, and I had a wonderful time there. But man, we are doing something really special here, and it's taken us 4.5 years to build this thing the right way. I think we've done it the right way. We have an opportunity here to play an awesome football team Saturday in Oregon, and if we can do that, we stay in the Pac-12 North hunt, which I think we have an opportunity to win the Pac-12 North and ultimately get ourselves in the championship game and win a Rose Bowl. So I don't sit around and really talk to too many people that would tell me that stuff anyway. I kind of hunker down our offices and work with our coaches, again, on trying to get our players in the best position to be successful.
But if you say, look, this is where I'm going to be, I have no interest in that. Can you say that right now, that you'd not be interested in coaching any place else next year? Your home is Washington.
Oh, I love it here, without a doubt. And that goes without saying. Again, in the real world, Dan, you couldn't say that. Everybody can't just say that. Things happen in this world for very many reasons. I love my job. I'm so fortunate, humbled, and honored to be here. I hope I get to coach here longer than Don James did. I hope I win more national championships than Don James did. That's the goal. But things happen in this world in my favor, not in my favor. That's the reality of life, and that's why you get up every day with a great attitude, and you go to work every day, and you bust your butt, and you do the best job that you can do every single day.
You're in a no-win situation, and I realize that. You are building something there, and you got maybe a special season here with these kids, but people are going to pull you in to that job search whether you want to be there or not, right?
I don't know. I mean, that's for other people to decide. It's not for me. I can promise you, I'm not on the phone calling those guys. I'm here working every single day with our guys, and I am in a win situation. I'm in a great place. I work for really good people. This is an unbelievable university. The city of Seattle has been so good to myself, my family. It's a great place to be, and there's a rich history and tradition here. Multiple national titles, multiple conference championships, All-Americans. NFL draft picks that we're continuing to build upon, and we're going to get back to that place where we are in the national prominence week in and week out, and it's just a matter of time.
Price's evolution here of what you saw when he first came in, and Keith to where he is now. How much have you seen him take, giant steps, quantum leap, or is he where you thought he would be?
I've been really impressed with Keith's ability just to mature, and when he came here as a freshman and redshirt freshman, to where he's grown to have a tremendous sophomore season, to have a really tough junior year from an injury standpoint, a health standpoint, from the offense not performing great around him, to him taking a bunch of criticism, to coming back his senior year hardened, focused, and having just a tremendous senior season halfway through it up into this point. I couldn't be more proud of him. He's an awesome kid. He's already earned his degree. He's a great leader. I think he embodies and exudes all of the characteristics that we like in all of our football players, and couldn't be more proud of the kid of what he's accomplished up until this point.
Have fun against Oregon, and you avoided the rush. I had to ask you the questions. I appreciate you being a professional on your end of it.
Oh, you're the best, Dan. Appreciate it, man.
All right, Steve Sarkisian, Washington head coach.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.